Los Angeles, city of dreams and contradictions. Neon lights and streets full of cracks. While some protest seeking change, others keep burning rubber on the asphalt. Tonight, in the midst of chaos, Ford launches a truck that doesn't ask for permission. An F-150 Lobo that doesn't come to save the planet. It comes to roar, to lower the suspension, to feel the night with a V8 and attitude. Because here in this city that never sleeps, where the streets are a runway of lowriders, muscle cars and fierce trucks, the street truck is the religion. And this is a wolf that comes with pedigree from Mexico to Detroit, from Detroit to these hot avenues of Los Angeles. No filters, no excuses. I'm here tonight to see it, to feel it, to tell you about it, to let you know how it is. Here, have a drink and turn up the volume. The show is starting soon. This is that truck that says to you, well, here I am, and like they say, I don't give a damn what you think of me. This is here. The money went where it matters more to you. Engine, chassis and design, nothing else. The rest is all pretty standard. This is the F-150 Lobo. It's the first street truck being made by the F-150 series. There are cars that are made for work, others are made for luxury, but others are made for the street. And this is one of those that was made for the street. Not just for the street, but for the culture, for the attitude to say, here I am. Take this moment to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you can see all the videos we're posting, and always super grateful for that. Well, right from the start, they have a lot of new things, a lot of things that are already set up for you to modify if you want to modify them, because there was nothing like this on the market. General Motors doesn't have it, the people at Ram don't have it, nobody has it. But Ford, which is the #1 selling truck in the world, decided to do it. They wanted to do it and bring back the V8, because they were taking it away. They had removed it from everything. Ford only had one left in the 250 series, but it was a V8. Let's see everything new this truck has. And they've let me come see it before the presentation, which is tomorrow. New Ford F-150 Lobo 2025 when I saw it for the first time. So I was just talking to the designer and the engineer who were here, and this truck. You know, well, I don't know if you know, but I'm going to tell you about the F-150S. All of them are 2 inches higher in the back than in the front, so they're all slanted. The first thing they did with this one was cut the back, so it would be the first truck they're going to have completely leveled, because that's what people do to this truck when they buy it, to modify it, cut it, level it, and that's it. Just like that, from the factory, what they call street culture, American culture. They have been waiting 20 years for this truck, and finally, today, here we have it. What is known as the Lobo culture started in Mexico in 1997. That was when Ford first launched that name specifically for the Mexican market. Over there, the Lobo was a symbol, what they call street power. But today, this Lobo comes straight out of Detroit to take over what would be the American streets. Its designer, whom we were just talking to, says this isn't a marketing whim, because we asked, why did they make it? How big is are they specifically targeting the Latino market, or just bringing a group of Latinos to California for this presentation? So, is it a very specific market that they've made this big investment in? We have this completely new, completely redesigned front end that doesn't look anything like the regular F-150 we have. They made the 2 side corner lights wider so they would match these lights. And they gave it that line that goes all the way around this entire grille. And look, this is already pretty low. This is called strict rock culture. Street trucks, people live this, people breathe this, because they have it in their blood. I never would have imagined that you had to cut the shackles at 2 inches to level it. I hadn't even noticed. When you see it, you don't notice that it's the EFE. 150 aren't at level A. I had never noticed. So what they've created here is what they call a wolf. Really short, fierce, aggressive. Look at the front, how it looks. Up front, all like this, attacking. There are several colors, but I like this all black one the most. I call them all the front sticks, the bitter front of the sinister front, because they changed it completely. They made it super long. Now it's from top to bottom because the regular F-150 doesn't have that front that goes all the way from top to bottom like this, completely. This whole light strip is inspired by the Maverick Lobo, just like the hood, just like the air vent we have on top. But let's see what we have down here, because what we have down here now is the return of the V8. All of this is part of an aerodynamic kit that comes with 10 pieces. This makes the entire body look lower visually. We have awesome wheels, 22 inches there, Brixton. But I like what they did with this star. The design is phenomenal because it's very open. It looks pretty strong. But if this had been matte, not shiny, would it have looked even better? The screws we have up here are styled like the ones on big trucks. They put them right up front and left them chrome. Look at that touch, because that touch really suits it. It looks great. And here they left F-150 and added the logo below, so you know you're riding in the logo. And this is totally functional too, because what's the idea behind all of this? When you see it rolling, like this, low to the ground at high speed, it gives the impression that you're stuck, really stuck to the asphalt. Here we have retractable mirrors. This doesn't have a camera because there's no 360 bird's eye view here, but we do have a blind spot detector here, and the doors are large doors. Well, all of this is what we already know about the F-150. The window goes down here, but the door is quite heavy and big. This truck is gigantic. There are 5 colors available, and in this case, the one that's intimidating is this solid black color. This one we have here now is like watching a movie, you know, like saying, look, here comes the tough guy from the movie. This is the tough guy of trucks. Because I just asked, isn't this a work truck? Yes, it is a work truck. It can be used for work or fun, and many buyers are expected to modify it immediately upon purchase. They're going to add their own touches under the hood, where we have 85 liters, 400 horsepower, and 410 pound-feet of torque. Okay, no hybrid, no turbo, no excuses. There's no hybrid here, there's no turbo here, there's no excuse for anything. This is what you call a real workhorse, because it's an engine that's being used in a lot of things. I thought they would eliminate it entirely, but we have a V8, which is crucial. They emphasized to us upon arrival that there's a V8, a 10-speed automatic transmission, and a 2-speed all-wheel drive system. And if you can engage all-wheel drive when it rains, or if you find yourself on really bad pavement, can you have full all-wheel drive? But in general, this Lobo was designed for dry roads, for hot streets, for racing. In other words, I already mentioned that the suspension is lowered from the factory by 2 inches compared to the regular F-150. You don't have to look for that in the aftermarket or go to a mechanic, because here everything comes ready. The brake system on all 4 wheels has ventilated discs, because even though we're not talking about a racetrack, this is what you call having a precise, quick response. La Troca, a truck, stops abruptly at a traffic light and is the first to accelerate when the light turns green. It's a Ford F-150 STX cab. STX Super Cruise, very spacious, okay? Very practical, very robust. It's not a King Ranch by any means, nor is it a Platinum, because luxury doesn't matter here. Here, what really matters is the attitude. Materials, which are all very durable. It has numerous black details and piano-type finishes that I don't really like, but those are the details it has. Here, we have the glove compartment for storage, 12-volt connectors, and 120 round ones. All the Pride modes. We have a lot of space here. We have 2 cup holders here. We have a place to put your phone. And you also have the option to make the same table that we saw for the first time when we did the full lighting. Here you can put your computer to work with 2 more cup holders in the back and a central touch screen. There's nothing unnecessary here. Everything is very basic. Oh, we have the whole air conditioning system here. There are also vents on the sides, and here in the center. We're not discussing efficiency, as our massive V8 engine only gets 15 miles per gallon. If you're worried about gas, this truck is definitely not for you. Everything we're already used to and know from Ford is here. Both seats lift up, creating a huge space here in the back so you can carry any kind of load you want. You can do it from here. We lower them again. If I get in the back here, I have a super huge space, really huge, with 2 pockets, of course, and independent air conditioning vents. The two cup holders I mentioned earlier are back here. Two USB connectors and one 120 volt outlet. Big at the bottom, the space is enormous. No, I have a sunroof, there's plenty of headroom and grab handles. Here on the pillars, the material is the same as we have in the front. Remember, they didn't spend money on luxury here, they spent money on something else, and this is perfect proof of that. It's capable of towing 7,500 pounds. We have a camera and, a white Ford here in the back. The trailer connectors, if you want to have them there, if I open here. This doesn't have hydraulic drop. I think it's been a long time in the United States since I've seen a truck without hydraulic drop. We don't have a liner here on top of the bed. If you want to put it, you can add it. This is, as I say, bare, naked. There's a connector. There's also a 120 volt one for you to have. Look at the size. The price starts at $56,000 for this truck. For those who live the street rock culture, for those who grew up getting in and out of trucks, for those who miss the sound of a V8, for all those people, this is for all those people who get bored of all that. It's generic, it doesn't have personality. All this for you, if you look back here, we have dual exhaust outlets. It did come with the hitch for towing, and of course we have the reverse camera. And so again, who does it compete with? With no one. It has no competition because Chevrolet has nothing like it. Ram left the sports model they had with the TRX, and those don't compete because those aren't street trucks. So it has absolutely no competition with anyone. If you want to have one like this, that can't be compared to this one, then you have to spend about $20,000 buying yourself an F-150 with your own money, and you have to modify it completely to have something like this. We're already talking about $15,000 or $20,000 that they'll charge you outside to modify one to look like this, which already comes from the factory already. This is a very important move that Ford is making because what Ford is doing is taking advantage of a huge culture, a culture that already exists and is being created. This is because nobody creates this specific type of truck like this for the street. They're capitalizing on the currently vacant market. So for $56,000, you can buy a Lariat, you can buy a Bosca-Tech, you can buy a Charlie. It's cool, but which one do you prefer? If this is for you, it's incomparable to the rest. He considers this an act of rebellion, and sometimes we all need a little bit of that in our lives, a little rebellion. So here from Los Angeles, the first presentation of the F-150 Lobo, a street truck, what they call a street truck. See you next time.